Should I ruin their wedding? It depends. All right, the title of this is My Friend Told Me She Loves Me 4 weeks before her wedding. My 35 male friend B, 35 female, just told me she loves me 4 weeks before her marriage. And I'm not sure what I'm supposed to do here. To give some context, I lost my wife 2 years ago. I have a 5-year-old daughter. I have not dated in the last 2 years because I have major trauma from losing my wife. I still love her a lot and I don't think I'm ready to move on. I invested all my time in my daughter who looks exactly like her mother and my work to keep my sanity for the last 2 years. I've been friends with B since we were in elementary school. We lived in the same neighborhood growing up and we were best friends. She's an awesome person and we were inseparable growing up. The weirdest part was we had completely different personalities. She was very outgoing and had a lot of friends. I'm a big introvert and B, along with a few friends, was all I needed. B was a serial dater and I don't remember any time since middle school since she was single. B and I never dated. B and I also went to the same college. She never had a stable boyfriend, but just jumped from one relationship to another. I, on the other hand, did not date seriously until I was in my junior year. When I met my wife, she was a freshman and we hit it off instantly. We fell for each other and spent all of our time with each other. This strained my relationship with B. Clock it. As I would generally hang out with my wife instead of her. That was the time B and I slowly started drifting apart. After college, I moved to a different town for my job and B and I occasionally messaged each other, but nothing beyond that. B attended my wedding and that was the last time I saw her. We kept in touch, but mostly by commenting on each other's pictures or keeping each other updated on significant life events. B did reach out to me when my wife passed away and we talked on a phone call. So last year, B and her fiance moved to my city. I was still grieving and both have been an amazing support for me and my daughter. My daughter loves dancing and B helped me enroll her in dancing and gymnastics classes and sometimes takes her to them. I also became good friends with her fiance, who is indeed an incredibly good man. My daughter loves Auntie B and B sometimes helps me babysit. Last week, B came to my house and asked if we could talk. Her tone sounded serious. She told me that over the last few months, she feels she started to develop feelings for me and is not sure anymore if she wants to go ahead with the wedding.
What?
Oh no. She felt I also had started developing feelings for her. I told her I'm not ready for any relationship before I can deal with my mental health, for which I go to a therapist regularly. She tried to convince me that she loved me, we are soulmates, and felt that we are meant to be together. However, I do not have the same feelings for her. I love her as a friend, but nothing beyond that. We were both emotional, but she was glad we talked about this. She left after that. B called me that night and told me not to tell anyone about our conversation. I thought a lot about it and decided I would not tell her fiance, about B and my conversation from last week. I feel it's their relationship and I do not have the right to ruin their moment if B decides to go ahead with the wedding. However, I feel guilty that her fiance doesn't know anything about this and is going into a marriage where B might not be fully ready for it. Can you guys have suggestions on what I should do? Am I wrong for not telling her fiance about our conversation? Ooh. This is very conflicting because I don't love that she's burdened you with this. This is a really, really big responsibility to just suddenly get thrown on your shoulders. And I feel really bad for her fiance, I'm not gonna lie. This dude has no idea, I'm assuming, that she feels this way right before their wedding. Like, listen, there's things that happen like cold feet and stuff like that. But cold feet, I think, can have something more to do with, the overall commitment rather than actually having someone in mind. I feel like the fact that she actually has you in mind and is afraid to go through with the wedding because she has feelings for you, I feel like that's so much worse than just like regular cold feet, Am I wrong for not telling her fiance about our conversation? That's a tough position to be in, because yes, she's your friend, but also he's a good guy, right? You said he's a good guy. I would feel incredibly guilty about not saying anything. If you do say something, you're going to ruin the relationship between you and B, which I feel like is already kind of ruined, to be honest. Like, I don't even know if you're going to want to see her. I mean, you shouldn't want to see her more. I think that you really need to, like, at the very least, set a boundary here and, like, not have her so involved with your life and your daughter. Am I wrong for not telling her fiance about our conversation? My instinct is saying yes. I think you need to say something. You are going to ruin the relationship with you and your friend B, but I think that she also kind of already ruined it. I'm actually going to defer to the comments on this one because I'm like incredibly confused. This is heavy. I would tread carefully. B has some commitment issues. That is a very good point. It seems like she's hopped around from person to person quite a bit, and you remained one of the only constants in her life in terms of like male influence. She pops this on you as she's getting ready to make the biggest commitment of her life. She may have true feelings for you. She may just be scared and thinks she has feelings for you. Protect your heart. Yeah, that's a very good point. I feel like I am a little bit concerned. The way that you talk about B, it's kind of like you're debating in your head if you think that the relationship will work out, rather than the very real problem of now her fiance has no idea and is about to marry someone who loves somebody else. There was very little in this about the fiance, and more kind of you debating whether or not you had feelings for B. Protect your heart and her comments. Just step back. Her convo with you could have been nerves, regrets, who knows? And she may still love her fiance. Don't deprive them of a relationship. Just sit back. You already spoke your piece. Okay, noted. Lots of people in the comments are saying that it might be nerves. This is just like really foreign to me because like in the weeks leading up to my wedding, it was like nowhere in my mind did I think about like the one that got away. If there is one that got away, really, there really isn't one that got away. There was never a question in my mind about whether or not I was going to marry Mike. Personally, I don't love the fact that she was willing to kind of throw it away on the off chance that you might have feelings for her. There was like pretty much no indication that you had feelings for her, right? Sounds like B wanted some kind of commitment from you, and then she would leave her fiance for you. It's not right to ask that of you. I'm glad you didn't go there. I would suggest that you get some distance from her and live your own life. She isn't treating you or her fiance well. Yeah, if this is any indication that she's not a good choice for you, it's also not right that old P told her, I'm not ready for anything like this, and she tries to push it anyway and tell him he has feelings for her. I definitely agree with distance. She's not acting like a real friend. And yeah, she sounds like she was trying to get OP to commit to her before jumping ship from her fiance. That's so disrespectful to both of them. This comment says, stay away from her. It's tough. Like, this is really, really tough. Yeah, I think at the very least, some distance. Like, clearly she's getting the wrong idea from you and like the closeness that you guys have. And she's definitely not a good match. She's not stable. Like, I don't love that for you. You just lost your wife. And like, I wouldn't want you to like jump into something with someone who has shown to not really be able to commit to anyone. Yeah, who knows? Who knows what's going on? Maybe there's other things going on and it's not just her fault that she, jumped from person to person. But I'm going to say that like, you're going to have some guilt about this, and I wouldn't be surprised if this marriage doesn't last. I get why you wouldn't want to say anything. This is tough. Like, I actually am confused because I think the moral compass in me would want to say something to her fiance. Then again, it's not really my story. It's not really my place. I think at the very least, you really need to distance yourself from this person. You're not wrong for not wanting to say anything, but I don't really see you and this person having a good friendship going forward. We got some more Am I Wrong for You? Don't go anywhere. I warned my niece about letting a guy fly her out, and some of my family members think I should keep my mouth shut. Okay, I have feelings already. I have many thoughts and many feelings. My niece, who's 24, shared at a recent family gathering that she's been dating a guy long distance for a few months and that he plans to fly her out to spend some time together. After she explained the situation, there were a ton of red flags and I warned her not to go. Now my sister, her mother, is telling me to mind my business and said I'm ruining a potentially wonderful relationship. Here's why I'm concerned. They met online and have never met in person. They FaceTime and text, but he's always in his car or out, never at his home. Oh, yeah. That is definitely a red flag. He married or some shit. He's probably got kids at home. He wants to fly her out from New England to Portland, Oregon, and plans to stay in a hotel for the trip because he has roommates. Is roommates a code word for wife? The fact that she's not staying at his place and he's getting a hotel. He said he can't fly out to meet her here because he's got a lot of commitments. Right, because that would probably be a red flag to his wife. To me, this sounds like a guy who's either married or at least has something weird going on. It seems like a really bad idea for her to go out there. On the other hand, I'm personally 99% against a girl letting a guy she met online fly her anywhere, which might be an outdated viewpoint. I don't think it's outdated at all. I think that, there's safety concerns. Have we not seen all of these Netflix documentaries on, meeting a guy online, never meeting them in person? There's so much that could be going on. She could be not the only person that he's talking to. He could be some sort of fraudster. No, I don't like it. If a guy can't find somebody in his city or area to date, there's a good reason for it. There might be some very rare case where you bond over a unique hobby or interest, but just generally dating somebody long distance from day one is a concern to me. My sister chatted with him a couple of times and said he seems nice, but it's easy to seem nice from the other side of the country where you can hide any flaws. Am I wrong to think this older guy flying her out to a hotel is suspicious, or am I just an old fart who needs to adapt to the times? No, you're absolutely right. I think it's extremely likely that he has a wife or a girlfriend at home at the very least. It's possible that he has kids too. I don't love that she's not staying at his place. I think that right there shows that there's an issue because why can't she stay at his place? She's flying all the way there and they're getting a hotel. I would agree with you that it's a red flag. It might turn out to be nothing, and he is a great guy, but it feels more likely that she's going to need a quick exit from there. That's the thing, right? I think in general, with online dating, there's always rules, right? There's rules to when you first meet a person. I had rules where we would go on a date that was easy for me to get out of. Maybe it was a drink instead of a full-on dinner. Maybe it was a picnic in the park. It was never something where I had to travel somewhere, and usually during daylight as well, right? And that's just the first meeting. Once you can kind of have the first meeting, you can sort of, you never know really, but you can kind of suss someone out. You know that they look like their pictures. I feel as though there are rules with online dating and meeting someone online, and flying all the way there really removes any sort of safety net where she could get away. Tell me, for all the women watching, when you first go on a first date, you're not texting a friend and telling them, okay, if I don't text you by this time, text me with an emergency or something. There's very little opportunity for her to get away from this person because she's flying to a different place. Where is she gonna go if she doesn't like the guy? And also with older dudes, I've found, they've talked on FaceTime. I don't love it. I really don't love it. Even if the guy's legit, the hotel part alone would make me nervous as hell. The hotel part would set off alarms for me too. Even if everything is innocent, being in a new place with someone you've never actually met face to face feels like a lot of trust to hand over immediately. People in the comments are saying he's married, or there's something more nefarious possibly happening. OP edited and added, thanks for the feedback and assurance. I'm not completely crazy here. I had a good conversation with my niece this evening. I told her she should verify some information first and ask some of the questions y'all shared here. She thinks I'm being paranoid, but she's agreed to at least ask to chat with his roommates a bit and ask for some other details she can verify on her own. Also, for the folks telling me to mind my business or similar, I know your heart is in the right place, but my niece regularly asks me for advice and this wasn't unsolicited feedback to her. My sister and I are very close, and we're also very close with each other's kids. We live near each other and usually have dinner as a big group with our spouses and kids a few times a month. Yeah, okay, I'm glad that she's gonna do a little recon. It is totally possible for him to fake the roommate thing, but we actually have an update. My niece followed my advice and insisted on talking with her boyfriend's roommates about getting some more information about him that she could verify on her own. She also searched lots of "Are we dating the same guy?" group. Oh, I didn't even think of that. That's brilliant. Okay, so for those that don't know, there are these Facebook groups where women have been posting photos of guys that they've met online or are dating, and they might have suspicions about them. So they ask women in their area and they post a photo of the guy to see if he's like cheating or, you know, maybe there's something weird about him, whatever. And it's actually very effective to the point where I'm pretty sure some guy was posted in one of these groups and took the girl who posted him to court because it was like invasion of privacy or whatever. And he ended up losing. Wait, hang on. So there's been several different lawsuits. In Chicago, it was filed by a Chicago man who sued women and the Facebook group for defamation, doxing, and privacy violations. In 2025, a U.S. district judge dismissed the lawsuit, ruling that the statements made were protected subjective opinions and did not meet the legal threshold for defamation. An appeals court upheld this dismissal in 2026. Oh yeah, this one. This is the one I'm talking about. A California man filed a $2 million lawsuit in 2023 against 10 women over claims of defamation and discrimination after he was discussed in the LA chapter of the Facebook group. And even Meta's been sued. Wow, pretty funny. This guy sued 27 women. I'm sorry. Wow. So, like, do you guys just think that women just aren't going to talk to each other? Because, quite frankly, if you're being posted in one of these Facebook groups because you're doing something sketchy, you're dating multiple women at once, I would call that a fuck around and find out. You know what I'm saying? Anyways, let's get to the update. I just thought that was a funny tidbit of information. After a couple of weeks of back and forth, it turns out he was hiding a bunch of stuff. As many people pointed out, it was a bit odd for a 32-year-old guy who has a career living with roommates. It turns out he was actually living with his parents, and his financial situation was not great. Okay. Concerning. I'm not one to judge the financial situation, but it raises alarm bells because, like, what if he's like a fraudster, you know? He got a divorce 2 years ago and had to move in with his parents and has been struggling to find consistent work since. Then why does he think that expense of flying a girl out is one that he should make? He apparently has a son he did not tell my niece about because he's not really part of his son's life anymore. I feel like that's something that should be said, regardless of whether or not you're in their life. Needless to say, my niece is breaking up with him. Good. I think she would have been okay with him living with his parents, but the dishonesty about his situation and being a parent was too much. My niece is having a tough time with it right now, but I hope it's for the best in the long run. My sister and I had some good discussions, and she sees my point of view a bit more. My daughter's on the West Coast for an internship, so my wife and I plan to bring my sister and niece with us to go visit her. It won't make up for the breakup, but at least it's a fun trip away from home. Even though I was right to be suspicious here, I'm also rethinking my opinions on long-distance relationship based on some of the positive comments on my last posts. I find it kind of funny that everyone assumes I'm an aunt, I'm an uncle, but I will take the fact that I give aunt vibes as a compliment. Yeah, I think that you were totally valid in feeling like there were some red flags. Okay, so he didn't have a wife, but he was still hiding something. I would want to know if a guy that I was seeing lives with his parents. For me, it's a deal breaker. You know, I don't want to be at a stage in life and have my partner be so far behind me, because then it's like, okay, so if he's living with his parents, then maybe he's trying to find a girl so he can move out and live with you. Like, I don't know. I don't love it. I'm glad that you trusted your gut because you were right that he was hiding something. If you are enjoying this video and this channel, don't forget to subscribe. It's free. $0 on sale. Am I wrong for putting peanuts in my food and not putting an allergen label on it, knowing that the food thief is allergic? Like, how allergic are we talking? Talking like deathly allergic? Go on. So, my office recently got a new hire, Omar. He's a young Muslim guy, fresh out of college, and ever since he was onboarded, my food has been going missing. I mentioned his religion because I'm also Muslim, and it's hard to find halal food on short notice, and it's been really difficult not having food to eat because it's been stolen. Okay. I see where you're coming from. My theory is that he stole my food because I'm the only obviously Muslim one in the office. I wear a hijab and have mentioned going to mosque. And he knows that my food is okay to eat. I've tried talking to him about this, but he always plays dumb and denies knowing anything about my missing meals. As the title says, Omar is allergic to peanuts. Okay, again, how allergic are we talking? Okay, like, is he gonna go into anaphylactic shock? Like, is he gonna have to like get his EpiPen out? Like, how allergic are we talking? Because if you know that he could die, it is a little concerning, you know? It's a little concerning that you're not, but he's stealing the food. Also, yeah, tough one. On Friday, I brought leftovers, which included peanuts. I made sure to label the package clearly with my name, but I didn't think to include any label without having peanuts in it. No one else in the office uses allergen labels for their food. It didn't even cross my mind. I mean, you could have assumed because your stuff's been going missing, but when I got to the fridge and realized my food was once again missing, I rushed to Omar's desk where I, of course, found him eating my food. I then told him the lunch that he stole had peanuts in it. His eyes got really wide and he went for his EpiPen, and thank goodness he injected himself before the reaction got really bad. Okay. I love that you just like walked in and he's like eating the food. Like, I have this vivid image of him just like, you know, just fucking scarfing it down and just, you know? After Omar got done panicking about his reaction, he really blew up at me. Pardonnez-moi. No apology for stealing your food. He said I could have killed him. And I said he wouldn't have been in danger if he wasn't a liar and a thief. That's a good point. He told me that it was my fault for not putting an allergen label on the packaging. What? Well, the thing is that people kind of assume that they're not gonna have their shit stolen. You know, it's kind of like a thief coming to your house and stealing a package and then getting angry at you that there's a glitter bomb in it. Okay, so he told me that it was my fault for not putting an allergen label on the packaging. And I said I'm lactose intolerant, but I don't expect everyone to put labels on their dairy because I don't steal other people's food. Yeah. He said that's different because milk won't kill me. And I said it was the same principle. HR has ruled in my favor, but now requires an allergen label on all foods, and the entire office is mad at me. Not just for the inconvenience of the labels, but because I targeted Omar and tried to kill him. Oh, brother, give me a break. He can steal their food then. Now I feel bad. Am I in the wrong here? I'm glad that HR ruled in your favor. Omar is probably going around talking about you, honestly. And they're pissed off at you for, you know, honestly, they should be pissed off at Omar because this entire issue would not exist if it weren't for Omar stealing food. I love that he's also like, you caught him red-handed and didn't apologize. What kind of dumbass steals other people's food when he has an allergy that can kill him? You are not wrong. Yeah, I'm not really loving this whole system that your office has. Like, there definitely needs to be a camera in the room with the fridge. I'm assuming it's some sort of like shared kitchenette space. All the drama over the office food is so funny. WTF, your office is absurd. The kid stole food repeatedly and it caught up with him. Unless it's a shared food in a shared lunch, I don't understand why your personal lunch needs to be labeled. Just because it's stored in a shared place doesn't mean it's a damn free-for-all. Keep a private cooler bag to store your lunches in if that makes you feel better. Stole her food and left her with nothing to eat multiple times. Honestly, this might be an unpopular opinion. Like, I understand that he could, like, die, but he's literally so dumb. Like, why are you stealing food when you have a terrible allergy that could kill you and you have no idea what's in the food that you're eating? Because you don't have any control over it, right? You didn't buy it. You didn't make it. Like, people use peanuts in so many things. Peanut oil. Like, you know, like sprinkling the peanuts as a garnish. I'm honestly gonna say you're not wrong. He's got an EpiPen. He was fine. He shouldn't have been stealing. I think I'm also just being a little petty because, like, not only did he steal your food multiple times, not only did he get caught red-handed, but in turn, instead of apologizing to you for stealing your food, he turned the whole office against you. I'm just feeling petty because he didn't take any responsibility and didn't apologize. Yeah, fuck that guy. Fuck him and his peanut allergy. Am I wrong for calling off our wedding after my sister-in-law shaved my beard? Don't mess with the man and his beard. My 28 male, fiance 25 female, who we'll call Lexi, are a happy couple of 6 years and engaged for 1. Or so I thought. For context, my fiance's sister, a 32 female, we'll call her Sally, has always been hostile towards me and would rarely speak to me. And when she did, it would be because her parents were around. Sally is Lexi's rock because she got her through a tough time during college, and since then, Lexi has told Sally everything about everything. We've had problems with this in the past due to her telling Sally personal things about my childhood I've only told a few people, which led to us not speaking for 3 months during COVID when she'd only leave our room for food and to go to the toilet. And recently, we hadn't had an argument in a year plus until 3 nights ago. She mentioned she would like me to shave my beard. Why? Is she like worried what you look like under that? For context, I have a very thick beard that I've been growing for 8 years and I'm very proud of it. Like I said, don't mess with a man and his beard. So of course I told Lexi I won't be shaving my beard, to which she stormed off to the kitchen and slammed her wine glass into the sink, smashing it and a plate in the process. Did this come out of nowhere? This is for sure her sister talking. I immediately stood up and asked what the f was she doing? And then she spun around and screamed at me that I'm a selfish a-hole because I won't shave my beard, and ran to our bedroom and slammed the door. Like, she knows what you look like. You've had the beard the whole time. You know? What's the issue? I ended up sleeping on the couch and woke up at around 4 a.m. to Sally with a razor trying to shave my beard. So I pushed her off me. Lexi then ran to check on Sally whilst I was looking at the big patch Sally had taken out of my beard. Interesting that she checked on Sally and not you. Then I went upstairs and packed a bag while Lexi shouted at me for hurting Sally. I told her to F off and the wedding was off, and walked out of the house and drove an hour to my parents' house where I've been staying since the incidents. Earlier today, I got a text from Sally saying I was selfish for not shaving my beard because when I go downstairs on Lexi, it feels weird, and I haven't replied to her. Be so for real. My family thinks I should break off the relationship, but her family said I should just shave it all and move on. So what should I do, and am I wrong? Why wasn't this brought up to you? Like, why did she just take it upon herself to, like, get her sister to shave your beard? That's so bizarre. And maybe there's things you can do, like angles or whatever, to like improve the feeling. I don't know. Speaking from someone who is married to a man with a beard, I've had no issues. Just saying. My family thinks I should break off the relationship, but her family said I should just shave it all and move on. So what should I do, and am I wrong? I find this super weird, and I also really don't love the temper tantrum that she threw and like breaking stuff. I'm gonna go ahead and say that that's a massive red flag. Like, I've already kind of waved it, but let me just say that if it was the man that broke something, I'd be scared. Okay? In situations where you have a relationship and you've got someone that's like throwing stuff and breaking things, it's only a matter of time before the things that break are on your person or your person. Sorry to dance around the subject. But that's just how I feel. I would say that that's even more of a red flag than the beard thing. Like, that whole beard thing is weird, don't get me wrong. But the temper tantrum and the breaking stuff, that's even worse. Mate, you need to reread what you wrote out. Your fiance's unhinged and her sister is a cunt. Getting so angry about a beard that she smashed a plate and a glass. Her and her sister deciding your boundaries are irrelevant. Even the fact that she can't keep anything you say to herself. This is not someone you want to spend your life with. Best thing you can do now is trim your beard to hopefully even it out and then let it grow again. It can serve as a reminder of this incident. Anybody coming close to me with something sharp can all the way off. I'm concerned for you. Okay, so let me get this right. You were assaulted and you were wondering if you're wrong to not want to get married. No, you're not wrong. Yeah. Okay. OP edited. I don't know how many will see my other posts, so I'll put it here as well. I've now got, as of typing, 99 plus texts and calls from Lexi saying things like don't leave and let's be intimate one more time, and I'm pregnant. She's trying to baby trap me, I think. Run. Lexi messaged me weird things saying miss me and I'll take the baby. To Sally then messaged me saying Lexi's in the hospital being treated. After an attempt I don't believe it at all. I've blocked Sally's number now. Okay, this person seems unhinged. I would run far, far away. Edit 3, I called the police and showed evidence of her messages, so she's hopefully getting checked into an institution. Edit 4, Lexi's aunt, who's the only person on her side, agrees with me. Just called me to tell me Lexi's been checked into a psychiatric unit for 2 weeks. I'll keep you updated if anything happens, but I should be okay for now. Edit 5, I just want to thank you for the overwhelming amount of support. I filed the police report on Sally for assault, and I'm in the process of canceling the wedding venue. Edit 6, I'm back at the house. I've had a locksmith change the locks just in case. The wedding venue can't be refunded, but it was going to be paid for by her parents anyway, so I don't care. I've also contacted my lawyers. No, you're not wrong for ending that potential marriage. I think that you were in the right there. That was a one-way ticket to crazy town, okay? Am I wrong for ending a 20-year marriage because I learned my wife cheated on me while we were dating? My wife, 44 female, and I, 43 male, have been married 20 years. We started dating in high school when I was a junior and she was a senior. We were doing long distance for her first 2 years of college while I was in high school and did 1 year at community college. Then we went to college in the same city for a year and have lived together since. We got married the summer after I graduated college. Our marriage has been pretty great so far, but I initiated a divorce after I discovered she was sleeping with multiple other men for the 2 years we were long distance. Ooh. Yeah, I don't blame you. Just after Christmas, we got together with a few friends of hers from college to catch up, have dinner, and hang out. We talked about a lot of stuff, and my wife mentioned we met in high school. Not that we dated, just that we met. Her old college roommate commented it was crazy we met in high school, had a few wild years in college, then ended up together. I played along and commented that I didn't know if my wife was as crazy as I was. The roommate started to tell a story, but my wife cut her off and said she was uncomfortable about it. I sensed something was up, so I said we actually started dating in high school and we were together for my wife's entire time at college. All of my wife's friends got really quiet and the rest of the dinner was awkward. Oh yeah, because they know she a hoe. They know she was a hoe. On the way out, one of her roommates took me aside and said I should have a, quote, honest conversation about what happened in college. I asked my wife on the way home and she kind of blew me off. I told her it was important that she was honest with me, and again, she said it wasn't important. Not important to who? When we got home, I told her I was going to stay at my brother's house until she was ready to talk about what happened in college. The next day, she came over and admitted to sleeping with several dudes during her first 2 years at college. She said she didn't consider it a big deal at the time. Then why is she keeping it from you? Because we were doing long distance and she didn't think a high school romance would last. I pressed her for more details and she said it was at least 10 different dudes, including at least 3 guys she introduced me to as friends when I came to visit on weekends, and 1 guy she was still in contact with. Oh, absolutely not. I told her that I wanted a divorce and I would be starting the paperwork as soon as I could, which I did on January 2nd. Ooh. Yeah, I don't blame you. And it's not even just the cheating, it's the keeping it from you for 20 years, almost 20 years. The lying, the bringing you around the guys, you had no idea. She's still in contact with them. Her family and most of my family's telling me I shouldn't throw away my marriage over a few mistakes. Did she fall onto 10 guys' dicks? This isn't just a one-time thing. There were 10. That's crazy. Maybe 1 mistake could be forgiven, but 10? Plus all the lying? I stood by my belief that cheating on me with multiple men for years is unacceptable no matter when it happened, and the fact that she continued to maintain relationships with these guys right in front of me was an unacceptable amount of disrespect. We have 2 children, but they're 17 and 19, and I believe they will understand why I need to end the marriage. Am I wrong for leaving? I feel like I'm going crazy with the amount of people telling me to overlook the years of infidelity and decades of lies. I feel like this is just what she admitted to. Like, for some reason, I think that she cheated multiple other times more recently. So OP edited to add a few things. Holy crap, I'm glad I did this with a throwaway because the response here is unexpected. I obviously can't answer every question and comment, but I wanted to provide some detail for common questions. The reason I posted this is my wife and a few friends have been saying it's common to sleep with other folks when you're in a long distance relationship, and I'm kind of the odd one out for not sleeping around. No, they're wrong. What? Then why did she keep it from you? If that was so normal, why did she keep it from you? I felt like I was being gaslit. You are. but I wanted an outside perspective. We live in a state with a waiting period to finalize a divorce, so I felt it was a reasonable idea to get some insight before things are finalized. After these comments, I see a handful of folks saying it's normal to sleep around during a long-distance relationship, but it seems to be a significant minority. Those people are the minority. Because since when? Like, literally since when? You're in a relationship. Unless it's discussed beforehand and it's like, you know, we should open ourselves up to meet new people and both people agree. I'm assuming you didn't sleep around. We saw each other a couple weekends a month during the 2-year college period. I lived about 3 hours away from her college. So it was long distance, but not like cross country. This is not a situation where we went months without seeing each other. The 3 guys I met while she was in college were meetups that happened during parties. The subject of me being a boyfriend didn't really come up, so I honestly don't know if these guys knew anything. It's interesting that she didn't introduce you as her boyfriend. Uh-oh. The fact that she admitted to 10 guys, okay, 10, but like how many times? The one guy we're still in contact with married a mutual friend from college. This is not the same guy she secretly messages on the side. It's somebody we've talked to regularly for years. I've talked to him a few times since I've learned about my wife. He said he didn't know we were dating at the time and has since blocked my wife on social media. That says a lot. Some folks have asked how the roommates didn't realize at our wedding that the timelines didn't work out. The main reason is my wife and I had a very small ceremony with just close family in Texas. Then we went back to the East Coast to have a big party with friends. The typical reception, sharing details about how we met stuff didn't really happen, so her roommates didn't realize we started dating before college. It sounds like they thought we only dated for the year we were both in the same city, then moved in together. I was open to therapy or some kind of attempt to save the marriage, but her insistence that the whole thing is common and I'm the one who's out of line was just too much for me. Yeah, that's straight up gaslighting. The only time she showed any remorse or even offered to reconcile is when I started filing paperwork. Oh. It's not normal. Like, it's just not. You entered that relationship and you were in that relationship because you were under the impression that you were boyfriend and girlfriend. Ugh. In the last week, she's gone back to saying she's right and I'm overreacting. No, she gotta go. Your kids are old enough to understand. They're out of the house soon. No, the gaslighting is a no for me. This is also why I'm feeling like I'm being gaslit. It seems obvious that this is a major issue, but I've got my wife and others telling me it's normal and I'm overreacting. You should be telling their husbands and boyfriends too that that's how they feel. I'm not getting a paternity test unless my kids want to get one. I don't have any doubts that they're biologically mine and no test will make them not my kids. I love them more than anything in the world and my wife's infidelity won't change that even if one or both of them is not biologically mine. They've been my kids for 19 years and they will be my kids until I stop breathing. Final edit. Hey y'all, I've been reading a bunch of the responses, but things are getting crazy and increasingly unhinged, so I probably won't be checking in more. Here's some more answers to common questions. We were definitely exclusively dating at the time. Dating culture was a lot different 20-ish years ago, and exclusive was kind of a default for most people. Second, we had a long and difficult discussion before she left for college and continuing the relationship long distance. She specifically wanted to stay together and even joked about her dad coming after me if I started sleeping around with girls at my school. So you weren't allowed to cheat, but she was. Oh yeah, she gotta go. She gotta go! Finally, at my senior prom, she was not able to attend and was very upset when I proposed going with a platonic female friend of mine. Oh! As a result, I ended up skipping my prom and hanging out with her instead. She wasn't able to attend? Then why was she able to hang out? While we never said the word exclusive, I think the above reasons, combined with the general relationship before she left, are enough to assume exclusivity. Yeah, I would say so. Based on some comments here, I followed up with a friend that said I should have had an honest conversation. She told me 10 guys would be on the low end. See? And that her biggest concern was that there was apparently at least one pregnancy scare that I didn't know about. Wow. I honestly don't think that changes much. It's less about the number for me and more about the fact that she seems incapable of recognizing why this was wrong or why I feel betrayed. Yeah, she hella wrong for that. Like, no, you're not wrong. It's one thing if it was, one person and it was a long time ago and she was remorseful and apologetic and is begging for you back. This girl's trying to justify her reasons for cheating on you with multiple people. Buddy, she cheated and lied to you, then maintained contact with at least one of her buddies and introduced you to many of the guys that were her buddies. That is not only dishonest, but cruel. I think you are 100% in the right. Who knows what else she's done? You have no way of knowing. Agree. No, you're totally valid and you're not wrong. for wanting a divorce. Hope it goes well. Am I wrong for leaving my boyfriend for doing his friend a favor? What kind of favor? I, female 19, and my boyfriend, male 22, have been together for 2 years. He has this friend, A, who's a lesbian. Yeah, she's one of those stereotypical, I'm not like other girls, I'm one of the boys' girls. Very much written by a man vibes. Okay. Anyways, sometime last week, we were all hanging out. We have the same friend group, and somehow got to the topic of spicy relationships. She stated she only got intimate with girls. This made my boyfriend absolutely shell-shocked. I mean, he was flabbergasted, studying and saying how she's basically still a virgin. So A jokingly said that maybe he should take her virginity. He got all flustered and clammed up. Inappropriate. Obviously, on the ride home, I told him this made me uncomfortable, but of course he said, that's just how she jokes, it's not that deep. It's not funny. Long story short, they went out for drinks Monday. He came back and told me they got intimate. And it's not cheating because she's a lesbian and he was doing her a favor by taking her man virginity. Shut the f*** up. Oh, that's stupid. It's garbage day tomorrow, by the way. Leave this man out on the curb. I was appalled and left, yet I'm getting bombarded with texts from him. And the group saying how it's nothing, how it didn't mean anything, how I'm being ignorant. Didn't mean anything to who? That's so fucked up. I feel like I'm going absolutely crazy, and I feel like if they were in my shoes, they'd count it as cheating and leave too. I just want to know if anyone has any input or advice because I don't know what to think at this point. It was fully cheating. The zero remorse. Oh, but she's gay. And it still went like this, like that. Okay, that's cheating. Nope, I'm gay. Nope, nope, nope. He's a dirty cheater and she just wanted to sabotage your relationship. She's scum and he's toxic. Run from them, all of them. They're super messed up people. You're not a bigot. They're just radioactive. As a fellow lesbian, I agree. What she did and what he did was downright dirty. Yeah, and even the comment that she made in front of you, so inappropriate. You don't get a pass, okay? You don't get to be intimate with other people's partners because you're gay and it doesn't mean anything. Okay, OP edited to add, we are clearly not together anymore. Obviously, I'm hurt and upset. I'm just trying to figure out if I could have handled the situation better by not storming off and leaving, since everyone in our group thinks us breaking up is an overreaction. What's with all these people gaslighting everyone that's getting cheated? What the f***? Edit 2, yes, we started dating when I was 17 and he was 20. Where I live, the age of consent is 16. It's legal, don't worry. Edit 3, I understand dating a 17-year-old at 20 doesn't look good on his part, and in no way am I defending him, but I was the one that persuaded him and kept pestering him about going on a date with me. He reluctantly agreed and it went from there. I was the one persuading him to be with me. You're both pretty young. And I think that he's banking on the fact that you are too young to know better by saying that, oh, it doesn't matter because she's gay. It absolutely does matter, okay? It does matter. And he's delulu for thinking that you'd fall for that. You are not wrong for leaving your boyfriend for doing his friend a favor. Am I wrong for telling my husband I want a divorce after what he said? My husband and I, both in our 30s, have been together for around 4 years, had a huge argument over his daughter's 12 report card. To those who read my other posts and commented that the kid doesn't live in the same country with us, she does. My husband has 2 kids, different moms. Her mom just shared her end of year grades. She finished with an 80% overall average, but when we look closer, most of her individual class grades were below 80, and one of them was a 55%. The only classes really bringing her average up were PE and art. The problem is this has been an ongoing thing. She had been struggling in school. We only get to see her every other weekend, and I tried to create structure for her and teach her when she's with us. She has bad study habits and spends most of her time on TikTok, as they do. But it's being seen as me being too hard on her. Or caring. My husband and my in-laws refuse to do anything about it because we only get to spend 4 days with her a month. Okay. She's so out of focus. I feel like if we don't create a structure for her, even 4 times in a month, she won't even know what having a structure in her life is like. Her teacher did talk to her mom about grades, but nothing happened. She's always back to her old routine. I told my husband there needed to be immediate consequences because this has been an ongoing issue. And I don't think ignoring it is helping her. Yeah, so there obviously needs to be consequences, but maybe there also could be some sort of incentive for her to do well in school. I know that I had incentives for sure growing up, and it did help. It made me want to like succeed at school because like I got something out of it. He didn't agree and the argument escalated. He said my standards are too high, and he said it because I'm doing my master's and I worked hard to get straight A's. I said if the grade was 85 and I'm demanding a 95, my standards might be too high, but her grade is 55. I eventually said, don't expect me to act like her mom when I'm not allowed to discipline her. I'm the one who takes care of her when she's with us. I cook for her, I make sure she showers, I dry her hair, dress her up. I do everything for her when she's with us. We split up all of her expenses too, except child support, including if we go on trips, which could add up to thousands of dollars when she comes with us. His response was, you're not her mom. Interesting. Then he said, you should make your own kids. Oh, absolutely not. How disrespectful. You seem to be the only person caring about this child's well-being. That absolutely crushed me. I felt like he was telling me I could never really be family and my role in his daughter's life only mattered when it's convenient. In the heat of the moment, I told him I wanted a divorce. Now I'm wondering if I overreacted. I know saying I want a divorce is a huge statement, but what he said felt incredibly hurtful and dismissive after expecting me to help raise his daughter while also reminding me I'm not actually her parent whenever we disagree. I really like this top comment. He finally said the quiet part out loud, believe him. Yeah, that's what he's holding in his heart. And he chose to say the absolute most hurtful thing possible and like to you in an argument when all you're doing is trying to justify the fact that you care about his daughter's grades and his daughter's future, by the way. Also notice what he did or didn't say. He didn't say we should have our own kids, but you should. I'm not exactly sure what that implies, but it still ain't good. Maybe you should go have your own kids with somebody else. OP edited and updated. My husband and I had a calmer discussion. We agreed I'm not going to be a part of taking care of her anymore. He can't play on his PlayStation anymore or do other things when we have her. He needs to be the one taking care of her, not me. And I won't pay for anything for the kid anymore. I think that's only fair considering I'm not allowed to raise her. Yeah, it can't just be when it suits him. So if he wants you to take a step back, she's not your daughter, fine. Take that money back. He said he just didn't know what to do anymore because his ex doesn't care about the kids' grades. He said he feels bad for his kids about her grades, but we only have her 4 times a month and he doesn't think it will make a difference if he does anything about it. When he asked for her report card, she said, lol, relax. And to answer the questions about grades, she did around a 98 in both arts and PE, math and science 74, English is 55. English is important. Like if it was math, I'd be like, listen, I also didn't do well in math, but English is really important. I think that obviously she's not your daughter, but I think that you didn't do anything wrong at all. And I don't blame you for wanting to withhold some more of your parenting because of what he said. I still find his response very hurtful. And I don't think you're wrong for telling your husband you want a divorce after what he said. Maybe it will give him a nice kick in the pants. If you enjoyed this video, check out this one on the screen right now. And don't forget, subscribe!